When my son was 3, he started singing a Polish nursery rhyme that my husband's grandmother used to sing to all the babies in the family. She passed away before my son was born, and we don't speak or even sing Polish. My daughter, who is suffering from a severe brain injury from when she was just 11 weeks old, was in a coma for 3 days. For years afterward, when it rained, she would always comment, "Smells like God." So if you ever wondered what God smells like, you're welcome. Back in the day, my younger brother used to tell us about his other grandparents and the blue house that they used to live in. After always telling him he was just making it up, he told our mother he could bring her there. So we went for a drive. Then this little 5-year-old psycho gave her turn-by-turn directions for close to 45 minutes. We ended up 4 to 5 towns away at a dead-end street with an abandoned blue house. Walking with my 2-year-old in a cemetery by our house. She says, "Mommy, who is that man in the red jacket by the stone house?" She pointed to a mausoleum. There was no one else in the cemetery. "He's waving at me." She waved back. "He's coming over here to talk." My daughter was about 5 when she says, "You're the best mommy I ever had." I told her, "I'm the only mommy you've ever had." She looks at me and says, "No, you're the 3rd one, but I like you the best." I was hiking alone in the woods with my son, who was 7. It was eerie quiet. Out of nowhere, he says, "The woods demand a sacrifice." My kid's best friend forever started saying, "I'm a boy," the second she could talk, was very upset and agitated. Her mom thought she could be trans, started reading it up. Then one day, "I'm not a boy now, I was a boy," start sobbing. "I miss my sister." 1. 2. As her language skills improved, she explained further. "I'm a boy. My sister takes care of me. We used to work at the factory every day where they make buttons. We speak Spanish." And then, "I'm dead. I'm dead," sobbing. 3. Nightmares, night terrors. My friend is in a panic. What is wrong? And then, "I'm dead because I got hit by a car. I was walking to the factory with my sister. The car hit me. It was dusty. I was dead on the dusty road. I miss my sister." 1991. Worked at a pediatrician's office, screening a 5-year-old for therapy. He lived in the country, no friends, homeschooled, parents had no TV. Mid-screen, he looks at me and says, "Your brother saved my life in Desert Storm." I went cold and pale. My brother was in Iraq. I was watching a pre-K class while the teacher was out, and this little girl walked up to my belly, pointed, and said, "There's a little tiny baby in there. There's a little baby right there." I was pregnant, but hadn't told my job. As a child, I woke up in the middle of the night to see a tall man at my bed rubbing my leg. I was afraid to scream. My parents never believed me, but my older brother fit the description. He died before I was even born, and I slept in his room, and his old toys would often light up by themselves. I'm waiting for a phone call to tell me how many days or weeks my mother had left after months with terminal cancer diagnosis. My 3-year-old, who doesn't even know diagnosis or about an unexpected phone call, insists repeatedly, "Nana is okay now." I immediately then get a call. The cancer is gone. When my daughter was 2, I found her under the table with one of my husband's old children's books, turning pages as if she were being read to. I asked her what she was doing. She said, "Reading with Grandma." My husband's mother died 2 years before she was born, and it was her book. My dad died a day after his birthday, so on his birthday, we were all sitting and sad. My niece, 4 years old, walked to my mom and said, "Grandpa is here and says don't cry. His heart is sore too." She never met him. Mom asked, "How does he look?" She said, "Like Auntie Mapool." Yes, I'm a copy of my dad. We're all gonna die. I know, sweetie. That's just part of "you're gonna die" tomorrow. On several occasions, my son referred to the guy in our old house. He'd tell me Guy was standing in the dark hallway. After no talk of it for several months, one day he suddenly looked up at the ceiling and whispered, "Guy is back." When my niece was 7, she asked us why we were keeping all the dead grandmas in the attic. Then she laughed. When my daughter was 2, we were walking above a creek and stopped to look at it. She stared at it silently and then pointed and said, "I died in there." A kid I babysat once asked me to play in the basement, and when we were down there playing, he said, "When they put you in a box and nobody can hear you. Nobody can hear you down here either." Then he bit me. My aunt died when my niece was just a month old. When she was like 3 or 4, she asked to go outside and swing, so I took her. Her other swing was moving, but I thought it was just the wind. My niece started talking to it. I asked who she was talking to, and she said, "Annie Mae Adams." She was my aunt. I'm putting my half-brother down for a nap, and he goes, "I can't sleep with that mean little boy staring at me." He points to the dark closet.